Okay, folks, buckle up. We're about to jump headfirst into a 500-year-old mystery.
Yeah, mystery's right. A real head scratcher.
That's right, we're talking about a map. Well, not just any map. This is the 1507 Waldseemüller map.
Ah, yes. The Waldseemüller map. A truly remarkable document.
Remarkable and super controversial.
Yeah.
Because get this, it actually shows America labeled out.
Yeah, you're talking years before Columbus supposedly even set foot on the mainland.
Exactly. So was Columbus really the first? Were the Vikings? What about ancient Chinese explorers, lost civilizations? Could any of those be the answer?
Well, let's unpack it all, get to the bottom of this. I think.
Yes, let's dive deep.
All right, so first things first. Picture this. The year is 1507. We're in Germany, in the workshop of a cartographer named Martin Waldseemüller.
Ooh, a map maker.
Precisely. He's painstakingly creating a new world map, trying to piece together all the latest discoveries from explorers. You know, new trade routes, newly charted lands, that sort of thing.
Right, like a big puzzle, all the pieces of the known world.
And then boom, he drops a bombshell. He labels a whole continent America.
Hold on. He just, decides to name it.
Well, not just decides. The name itself comes from Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian explorer who had explored parts of South America.
Okay, so maybe not totally out of the blue, but still, to name a whole continent America years before Columbus's mainland explorations, it's just wild.
Absolutely mind-boggling, and that's the real crux of it all. How could Waldseemüller have possibly known about a landmass that far north when, at the time, Columbus had only explored the Caribbean? It just doesn't fit the traditional narrative, does it?
So what's the explanation? What are the theories?
There are a few floating around out there. One idea is that Waldseemüller might have stumbled upon some travelers' tales.
Ooh, juicy gossip from sailors at the docks.
Exactly. Imagine those smoky taverns filled with sailors and merchants spinning yarns about their voyages. Rumors of distant lands passed from one person to the next, eventually making their way across continents.
Sounds a bit like a game of telephone, though, doesn't it?
It does, a bit. And that's kind of the problem. There's not really any solid evidence to back up this theory. It's all very circumstantial.
All right, so what about a more concrete theory? What about the Vikings?
Ah, the Vikings. Now we're talking. We know for a fact they were extraordinary seafarers, pushing the boundaries of exploration way back in the day.
Right, way back.
Exactly. There's actually quite compelling evidence that they landed in North America around 500 years before Columbus. Think about places like Waldseemüller Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. This is a real Viking settlement, dating all the way back to the 11th century.
Wow, 11th century, that is wild.
Right, so it's entirely possible that knowledge of their voyages, whether through maps or sagas passed down through generations, could have reached Waldseemüller somehow.
Makes you wonder what other stories are hidden out there just waiting to be unearthed.
Absolutely. Now, another theory you mentioned earlier, a bit more out there, involves ancient Chinese fleets.
Yeah, this one's always fascinated me, but honestly, I'm pretty clueless about the details.
This theory is definitely more on the controversial side. The idea is that Chinese fleets might have sailed across the Pacific and reached the Americas long before any Europeans.
Whoa, long before?
Long before. We're talking centuries, potentially even millennia earlier. Some proponents point to interpretations of ancient Chinese texts and possible similarities between Native American and Asian artifacts.
That's interesting.
But I have to say, the lack of any really solid archaeological evidence makes this a very hotly debated topic among historians.
There's more speculation than anything else.
For now, yeah. But hey, sometimes speculation can lead to amazing discoveries, right?
Right. Speaking of speculation, we can't forget about the lost civilizations angle.
Ah, yes. Always a fan favorite.
I mean, come on. This has got to be the most Indiana Jones theory out there, right?
It definitely has that adventurous, mysterious vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The idea is that a civilization, now lost to time, maybe one with incredibly advanced seafaring skills, could have explored the Americas and left behind traces of their voyages. Traces that we just haven't found yet.
Okay, hold on. So you're saying there could be another Atlantis out there with maps and artifacts and everything?
Well, not necessarily Atlantis, but the concept is similar. A civilization with knowledge and technology that we can barely imagine. And maybe, just maybe, that knowledge somehow made its way to Waldseemüller.
Now that's a story I'd love to see play out.
Right. But for now, it's really just a tantalizing what if, a captivating possibility, but without any concrete evidence, it remains in the realm of speculation.
Okay, I could live with that. Speculation is fun. But let's get back to the map itself for a moment. this thing was lost for centuries, right? Like, totally vanished.
Oh yeah, completely disappeared. For
Yeah.
almost 400 years, it wasn't until 1901 that it resurfaced in a, wait for it, a German castle.
A German castle. Talk about a plot twist.
Right. Imagine the shockwaves this sent through the historical community. This wasn't just some dusty old map. It was a tangible piece of the past, a piece that directly challenged the established narrative of exploration and discovery.
I mean, I grew up learning that Columbus was the first European to set foot in America.
Right. And that's the thing. The Waldseemüller map forces us to question everything we thought we knew. It throws open the doors to a whole new perspective on history.
It kind of makes you realize that history isn't always a neat and tidy story, right?
Exactly. It's messy, it's complex, and there are so many unknowns.
And probably so many more secrets out there just waiting to be uncovered.
Absolutely. The Waldseemüller map reminds us that our understanding of the past is constantly evolving. New discoveries can emerge at any time, challenging our assumptions and pushing us to rethink what we thought we knew.
So basically what you're saying is history is a never-ending adventure.
That's a great way to put it. It's a journey of exploration, discovery, and constant reevaluation. The Waldseemüller map is just one piece of a much larger puzzle, and who knows what other pieces are out there just waiting to be found.
Wow. You know, after this whole deep dive, I'm starting to see the Waldseemüller map as more than just a map. It's like a window into a past that's way more complicated and interconnected than we ever imagined.
I think that's a brilliant insight. It challenges us to look beyond the traditional narratives, to consider alternative perspectives, and to embrace the mystery and complexity of history.
And who knows, maybe there's another Waldseemüller map out there, tucked away in some dusty archives, just waiting for someone to stumble upon it and rewrite history all over again.
That's the exciting thing, isn't it? There's always the potential for new discoveries. So keep questioning, keep exploring, keep digging. You never know what you might find.
Right on. And on that note, folks, we're wrapping up this deep dive. Big thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and those history books open. There's a whole world of mysteries out there just waiting to be unraveled.
Absolutely. Happy exploring.
And that's a wrap.